and go home, right? Well, it was 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I had 100 full-time employees, and I employed over 3,000 staff over 10 years. And I was wanting this passive business, and this was hardly passive at all. It really wasn't passive at all. But, we keep on searching for passive businesses. But in the meantime, I did make $50 million in 10 years, which is a good number. But, when you have a brick and mortar business, you have lots of expenses. My biggest one was payroll. My second biggest one was electricity. Third biggest one was water. And then I had other things like mortgages and insurance and taxes and everything else. So it starts to eat away at that $50 million. Not that it's a good number. It is a really good number in car washing. But, in my case, I kept about 10% of it, about $5 million was the net profit, which is normally expected in a brick and mortar business. So it wasn't bad, but I'm still looking for this passive business. Then I sold it. A gentleman came in and said, look, I really like this. I think it's a gold mine and I want to buy it. And I said, well, make an offer and let's go ahead and move forward. And he did, and he ended up buying my business, and he still owns it today. At the same time, I stayed in the industry helping other car wash owners achieve their dreams as a consultant. This was a full-time job for me as well, 80 plus hours a week. I loved my job, but I drove 70,000 miles a year. And what days of the week are car washes the busiest? Weekends, which means all of my friends and family, they're off, and I'm working because I'm helping businesses to do better, which is on the busy times of the week, which is the weekends. It still wasn't passive income, and it was a lot of work. But in 2007, I came to an internet summit, and this changed my life forever. Now, I started with eBay back in 1999, just doing things as a hobby. And it was a great hobby. I loved it, and then still have 100% feedback and thousands of reviews in my eBay store for selling all kinds of things. But when I got to this internet summit in Australia in 2007, this is really where I realized that actually you can very, very seriously make some money on the internet. And that's where I really started to begin to think, maybe I don't need to do car washing anymore, and I can be an internet marketer, which is exactly what I did. Okay, so a little bit more history. I grew up in Newport Beach, California. I ended up in Scottsdale, Arizona back in 1988 and stayed in Scottsdale for many, many years due to car washing. But then my life changed in 2007, and I moved to Chiang Mai, Thailand. Why Thailand? The fastest internet on the planet, absolutely the fastest internet, 200 megabytes per second, up and down for $15. The faster our internet, the more we can do, the more productive we are. And also then I ended up in Kyiv, Ukraine, because there are a lot of smart people in Ukraine that are very technical, programmers and things like that can do a lot to help our business. And also Nicosia, Cyprus, because this is one of the banking hubs of the world, and it's in the EU. So my life changed substantially in 2007, and I went global. And as Rich said earlier, literally what I do is I just go to a cafe. It could be a Starbucks. It could be anything that has Wi-Fi. And that's where I run my business from. And so I happen to be in the U.S. right now. I don't normally always spend time in the U.S. I actually live in Chiang Mai, and I'm a legal resident of Kyiv, Ukraine. But those are the two places I spend most of my time, besides the U.S. right now, just to see friends and family and go to some seminars and meet people and talk to them. So globally, we leverage and combine Facebook ads, YouTube, LinkedIn, Google+, and many, many more sites online. And I'm going to share those with you today, how we do it. But before I do, I want to share with you what you need to have on the back end. This is an example of one of our $1 million sales funnels. And what I mean by that, $1 million a year or more from one website, okay? And this is what you have to do once you get going, is have a sales funnel. Each one of these colored boxes is actually a website, and it's a web page. And when people hit it, they go either from an opt-in into a webinar, or they go to a sales page, or maybe there's an upsell, a downsell, even an exit pop, or there might even be an affiliate product. But you can see here how complex it is. But at the end of the day, if you want to make big money online, you have to have something like this, or even more than this. You have to have even more than just $1 million sales funnel. So what can you do with Facebook traffic? A lot of things, right? Okay, so one of the main things we can do is we can actually help new authors become #1 Amazon bestsellers. This is a gentleman, Lane Etheridge, who came out of nowhere, wrote a book, and wanted to be a bestseller. We made him an Amazon bestseller in 24 hours, #1 in 3 categories. Here's another one. This is a former police officer, #1 Amazon bestseller in 24 hours in 2 categories. You can see them right there. And this is another one as well. For those of you that might be in the multi-level marketing niche, you know, in health. This happens to be a gentleman who's big in multi-level marketing, and very few people are #1 Amazon best-selling authors in multi-level marketing. So what did we do? We made him a #1 Amazon best-selling author in vitamins and supplements, which is his niche, right? The other thing that we do is I'm asked to go into a seminar and even in as little as 6 hours, show people how to make money online, make posts, share posts, and then actually somebody in the room makes all the money for the day. And we just go through all day long as the clicks are coming in and the sales. This is Jackie. She made $1,454 in 6 hours. This is Georgios, $3,031 in 6 hours. This is Marty, $30,388 in 3 days. This is another one here, $35,000 in 3 days. This is Julia, $36,332 in 3 days. This is Joe, $38,013 in 3 days. This is Avril, $44,000 in 3 days. And this is another one, $47,000 in 3 days. All of these from small $37 products. Now, why do I talk about $37 products? Well, if you go back to the sales funnel that I shared with you earlier, you've got to start with things that are small and then build up from there. So you have all that. But we started these all with $37 products. So let's talk about building your brand and getting you the targeted traffic you need. This is critical in exactly what you're trying to do online. By the way, if you have any questions, go ahead and just type those in anywhere you'd like, so that way we can answer the questions as we go or at the end, right? Let's just go into LinkedIn though for just a minute. But what I'd like to first ask is how many of you have a LinkedIn profile with over 5,000 connections? Just put a 1 if you do, and how about a 0 if you don't? So we're talking about LinkedIn connections, 0, 0, 0. Okay, I'm gonna escape out. I'm gonna show you very quickly how to become connected with more people in LinkedIn, completely targeted, so that you can actually generate revenue and leads right away from LinkedIn. Great, and I thank you for all the answers. I appreciate it. They're all zeros, which means everyone has less than 5,000 connections. Okay, so let's just talk about this for a minute, what we can do. So take notes here because this is an important one. In your LinkedIn profile, what you want to have is you want to have a cover graphic. This is actually going to be changing soon, and we'll be able to put a video there, which is really exciting. But you want to have a cover graphic. The other thing you want to do is have a nice profile pic. If you do not have a profile picture, you're wasting your time in LinkedIn. So might as well not waste your time and actually put in a profile pic. The next thing we want to do is we want to keyword our name, first name and last name. In my case, I've been doing this now for about 5, 6 years in LinkedIn, and my first name is Jim Graham, and social media is my last name. Now, why would I do that? Well, the LinkedIn algorithm, when you go to do a search in LinkedIn, it looks to the last name for the first criteria. So when someone's searching in LinkedIn for social media, I get found more often. The next thing we want to do is we want to keyword based on the problems that we solve, your headline. In my case, it's Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Google+, sales funnels list, building online marketing, social media. And then at the end here, you see this 30,000 plus. You can be, the maximum number of connections in LinkedIn is 30,000. I have just a few more than that, and I'll show you that in a minute. But you can have 30,000 connections. Well, if you have more than 1,000 connections, let people know. So just put parentheses in 1,000 plus if you have 1,000. If you've got 2,000, great, just put in a 2,000 plus. But this is very important in order for people to know that you're connected with others, right? So the next section here is, this is the description or summary right here. Keyword it. This is the who, what, where, why, and how of you. Don't make any selling here, not necessarily. You don't need to be selling anything here. All you're doing is you're promoting yourself and who you are, so you attract people, right? It's attraction like a magnet, right? So let me just share something that you want to also make sure that you're set up as all-star right here. If it doesn't say all-star in this blue section, that means you're leaving some things out of your profile. So let's get that fixed up, and that way you'll be able to be seen more often, okay? This just tells you right here, I've been found 246 times this week in LinkedIn based on searches, and I've had my profile viewed 322 times this week based on searches, right? So this is what it's about. Now I'm going to scroll down a little bit further. I'm going to share with you a really critical part to rank higher. And this is like SEO in LinkedIn, rank higher for the keywords that the problems you solve, right? So it's called skills and endorsements. Get endorsements from anyone you can. It's very, very important. The more endorsements you have, the higher your ranking inside LinkedIn, and you're going to get found more often, right? But let me just click on this one right here. This is lead generation, 99 plus. It's right now I've got 1,064. actual endorsements for lead generation, right? So you can see here, just because it says 99, it could be quite a bit more. And this is how you get found more often, right? The next thing you want to do is have recommendations. The more recommendations you can have, hey, there's Alfred. And Alfred, you're actually on the call. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so then there's also accomplishments here, like languages, if you speak any languages at all, any organizations, if you're a member, or even any projects that you've been working on collectively within LinkedIn, you can put those here, and then also all your interests. But let's just go up to the top of the profile, and let's talk about some other things inside LinkedIn. So I'm going to go over here to the network, my network, right? And you can see here when it pumps up, oh, it looks like I've got 2,999 connections, so I can only add one. So I'll just add here Chris. Now notice it goes to 30,000, and Chris I can now message, right? Because I can message him directly. And that's the whole idea here in LinkedIn is once you have the people as a connection, you can now message them and absolutely really connect with them inside LinkedIn. So let me just show you how that is, right? So I've got 30,000 opportunities to message. I'm going to go right over here to messaging, and I'm going to show you what you can do. Here's the message that I sent to one of my connections right here. And you want to give something away for free, give a referral or anything like that, and that's how we do it. And when you do it 30,000 times, literally 30% of that number, whatever number of connections you have, they'll opt in for what for your free ebook or anything else because they're interested in what you have to say. Anyway, that is LinkedIn. That is LinkedIn. Thank you, Alfred, for that. I appreciate the testimonial there. So it's really nice. Thank you, and I'm glad you're on the call. All right, so we're going to go back in now to my presentation, and we'll go to Facebook. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I thought Facebook was for kids, and I'm sure many of you thought Facebook was for kids. And in fact, I know a lot of kids way back when that were using Facebook, and they're uploading pictures of food and taking selfies and things like that. Well, let me tell you, that's one part of Facebook, but ignore that part for just a minute. Let's just utilize Facebook for business, and that's what we're here to talk about, okay? Why Facebook? 2 billion users worldwide, 1.23 billion log in each day, 76% are female, which means females shop. We know this. They love to buy shoes, purses, clothing, and things like that, sunglasses, makeup. They're consumers. The average profile in Facebook has 300 friends, and the highest demographic currently is 25 to 34-year-olds, which means they're working, they're employed, and they're earning income, right? 30% of us have a 4-year degree. 20 minutes is our average visit time, but I want you to pay close attention to this number right here. This is a critical one, right? So on Google, 5.9 billion hits each day on Google, which is an enormous number. It absolutely is. But here's the Facebook number, guys. 100 billion hits each day. Almost 20 times the number of hits in Facebook. This is why you need to take Facebook seriously, because this is where the people are, right? So some more information about Facebook. Between 1 and 3 p.m. is the highest traffic in your local market. So if you want to make posts and get seen more often, do them between 1 and 3. Declines hour after hour. 7 p.m. is better than 8. If you can't do much posting and you only have a little bit of time, do your posting on Thursdays and Fridays, because you'll get an 18% increase in engagement, right? It's very important to do it between Thursdays and Fridays. 18% is free, right? They give you just that much more engagement. It's awesome. Facebook is 1 in 5 page views in America. What does that mean? 20% of all web pages viewed in the United States are Facebook. 20%. It's an enormous number. This Facebook.com is just absolutely enormous. 42% of marketers report that Facebook is critical. You must include mobile marketing for your business, because 94% of Facebook users use the mobile app. Real quickly, how many of you have the Facebook app on your phone? Just hit a 1 if you do. How many have a Facebook app on your phone? Yep, I see the 1. See, we're using our phone for all these things on Facebook because we can take pictures, we can take video, there's even Facebook Live, there are all these things we can do with Facebook, and we want to see what our friends are doing and other people are doing on Facebook, and guess what? They're actually on Facebook too. It's pretty surprising, right? And we must use Facebook ads as part of our traffic strategy, and we'll get back to Facebook ads later. So here's another image that really gets the point across with Facebook, right? 91.4% of all social network traffic is Facebook. And what I did was I took that sliver and then made another circle with it. This is 8.6%, which is the rest. And you can see here from Twitter, MySpace, Tag, LinkedIn, and so on. But 1.1% of the rest is Google Plus. It's really quite small, but I want you to know that we need to use Google Plus, and we're going to come back to that later. But Facebook is this enormous elephant in the room, right? So let's just talk about search engine ranking factors. This is from Search Metrics, and I want you to pay close attention to the orange, and that's social media. The blue and the green is websites, right? So we need both, and I'm going to show you the social media side first. Google Plus is the #1 search engine ranking factor. Well, surprise, it's owned by Google. So of course it is. Facebook shares #2, number of backlinks #3, Facebook totals #4, Facebook comments #5, Facebook likes #6. Look at that, guys. The top 4 of 6 search engine ranking factors are Facebook, and this is absolutely where you need to be. Top 4 of 6. There's Pinterest, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and there's Twitter. We'll talk about them later. The top 7 of 8 ranking factors for Google, Bing, and Yahoo are social media, and again, this is why you need to be on social media. So what can you do with Facebook? Well, you can promote products. So how many of you want to be or are affiliate marketers? Just put a number 1 if you are, or 0 if you're not. Any of you affiliate marketers? Okay, Richard, you're not. Dan, you are great. Mary, you are super. Okay, good. All right, so from an affiliate marketing standpoint, what we can do is we can actually promote other people's products from Facebook and actually make commission. And the one thing that really makes this quite easy is what I call the Control-C and the Control-V. So real quickly, how many of you can do a Control-C and a Control-V, or on a Mac, Command-C and a Command-V, because it's called copy and pasting, right? This is the easy part, okay, copying and pasting. So when I actually set up a page inside Facebook for an affiliate product, I get approval from the product owner that I can use their graphics, because I'm not going to create my own graphics. I don't even know Photoshop, but I know how to copy and paste, right? So here's a page right here. I created 157 fans. And by the way, they're not purchasers. Fans don't buy anything. Fans are only there for credibility, and that's about it. In fact, I've managed Rihanna's page when she had 50 million fans on it, and Rihanna couldn't make a penny off of her fans, but she could make it off of other people coming into the page. But let's just talk about what we can do in copying and pasting. We can copy graphics in and paste them. We can copy sales copy in and paste them. We can even copy a buy now button in and paste it. And the next thing you know, you have an affiliate link in the buy now button, and people click and they actually take an action and maybe buy the product, right? In this case, it's $337 in one day from one fan page. Now, I'm showing you this particular number, and look at the date here. This is before Facebook ads, and I want you to understand there's the pre-Facebook ads and there's post-Facebook ads. Facebook ads just accelerate everything, but it costs money. So I'm going to show you right now just ways to do this for free, and this is what I have to show you, right? So just because it was a couple of years ago doesn't matter, because it still works today. In fact, I'm going to show you some numbers like that now. But before we get there, what if you spent just a few minutes every day posting on Facebook? What if you promoted more than one product? What if you promoted 5? Well, if each one provided $337 in income, that would be $1,685 in one day. That would be good. What if you promoted 10? That would be $3,337 in one day. That would be great. Now, people look at me all the time and go, well, I'll never get there. Well, let me tell you something. You can get there if you want to, but what you have to do is you have to reinvest in your business. What that means is take a minimum of 10% of your revenue and invest in outsourcers to do a lot of the work for you. That way you can go from 1 product to 5 products to 10 products and beyond. I currently have over 4,000 Facebook pages, all in different niches, all working. And it really works when you can outsource and have the work done by others. Okay, so we'll keep on going here, and I'll show you another product. This is Google in 60 seconds. Again, Control-C, Control-V. This was $607 in income with 2 hours worth of work. This was a JVZoo product just a couple weeks ago, where we actually made posts with graphics like this, right? Here's another graphic. This is an actual post right here into Google Plus communities. That's the actual post right there. And look at the commission here, $141.96, 19 sales from just this one product in a couple of days. Now, how many of you just say 1 or yes if you'd like to even try to make $141 in one day? Yep, I'm seeing the yeses. It's a good start. In fact, what I always say is if you could get to the point where you're making $100 a day, that's $3,000 a month, but you're going to have to put $300 a month of that back into outsourcing, which is 1 full-time person to help you out, right? That's what it's going to take. So always plan on reinvesting. This all was done from just posting and sharing on Facebook and LinkedIn and Google Plus and YouTube and Instagram. That's all this was right here. And I'm going to share with you these strategies of exactly how we do it so that you can do the same thing. Here's a previous JVZoo product from earlier this year. You can see here 1,236 clicks, 954 unique visitors, 63 sales, 26 sales, 20 sales, 21 sales, 2 sales, 1 sale, a total commission of $2,762 from one Facebook page, some posts and shares. And that's what it takes. Posts and shares, copying and pasting, right? Here's another one. This is Mage Monster. Yeah, I love counting clicks. Again, this is before Facebook ads. I'm only showing you right now things that are related to pre-Facebook ads because this is what you can do without spending any money. Average of $25 per click in commission, $1,500 in 2 days. This is what it's all about, all in Facebook. You bought it, Gary. Awesome. It was a good product, right? Okay, so here's another one. This is a brilliant product, Copy Sniper. Copy Sniper was developed, it's a piece of software developed by a copywriter. So you can imagine it would have done better than most, right? And you can see here $1,804 in income with 2 hours worth of work. Again, the 2 hours come from, I have to create the page, I have to make the post, I do the posting, and it's 2 hours worth of work. That's all we have to do, right? Okay, so, and I'm gonna share with you the best I've ever done without a Facebook ad, because I want you to know there's a wide range, right, that you can do from one to the next, but so I'm showing you on the low side, and I'm showing you on the high side, right? So this one here, this was a product called Sky Builder. And it was, you know, when things line up and it's the right time, the right offer, the right product, the right audience, everybody in there, and when I'm making the posts, and this was for an app developing piece of software for iOS and Android, so for smartphones, which is hot, right? I created the page, and then I started making posts, and I started sharing those out. You can see here I copied a Buy Now button. I copied all the copy. I didn't do any of this. I didn't write any of it myself. It's all just copied and pasted, and I made $24,000 in 2 days, guys. Now I'm going to tell you, that's the best I've ever done without a Facebook ad. So it didn't cost me anything, it just cost me my time. And that's okay if it costs us just a little time. I'm okay with that. Are you guys okay with a little time? Because that's what it takes, is a little time, right? Okay, so let's go a little bit further. So what do we do? How do we get these posts out there, right? Well, the first thing I do is, if it's a marketing related product, is I'm going to join marketing groups in Facebook, right? So this is just a screenshot right here of a few. You can see here on this with just the different groups here, it basically represents about 220,000 members of these groups. Some of these groups allow us to actually post in them, so all we need is a very small percentage. Imagine if we had 220,000 people and even 1% actually clicked on our link. We're going to get those clicks, and some of those are going to buy. That's what it's about. So join Facebook groups. You can join up to 300, okay? But it all starts with creating a Facebook page. So let's go through that first, right? So what you want to do is you want to go to knowem.com, and this is where we can get a vanity URL. See this, facebook.com/ and the keyword. You want to try to have your page keyworded properly. You also want your YouTube channel keyworded properly. You want your LinkedIn profile keyworded properly as well, right? So you do that right here in knowem.com. You type your name in down there and click check it, whatever that keyword is or keywords, and it's going to tell you all the sites that have that keyword available as a xyz.com / and the keyword, right? So that's really cool to be able to do that. So let's talk about branding for a minute. This is one of our clients right here. And this is a graphic that if it's lunchtime or dinner time in your neck of the woods, you might look at this graphic and go, wow, I'm kind of hungry. That looks pretty good, right? Well, that's the whole idea. But more importantly, there's this Shop Now button right down here at the bottom. This Shop Now button goes right into their online shop, where literally you can have food delivered. Here's Best Western Hotels. You can book your hotel right here on the Book Now button. This is Maui Jim. You know, they're a luxury sunglass company out of Maui, Hawaii. And this Shop Now button goes right into their online store, so you can buy sunglasses. Here's United Airlines. You can book your plane ticket right here. But more importantly, I want to show you something brand new, which is this right here. It's called Video in the Cover. Okay, now this is brand new. It's just been released, and you all should be doing this in your Facebook pages. In fact, if you're not, I suggest you change your Facebook pages and add a video. The reason for that is it's going to get a lot more attention. So I'm going to ask all of you, how many of you have a video running in your Facebook page? Just type in a 1 if you do or a 0 if you don't. I'm seeing zeros. I'm seeing zeros. Right? Okay. Well, a lot of zeros. I see there are a couple ones in here now too. Great. Okay. Well, you want to put a video inside all of your pages because it's going to get more traffic. Here's one for Making Money Online Academy. You can see it's just printing $100 bills, and it's got a sound that sounds like money as well. Here's for Structured Water, and they're using a creek that has a sound, and you can have music in the background. You can have anything you want in order to promote your structured water, but it's pretty cool that you can do this, right? So let's go into posting now, because this is the next part of the magic, is you need to actually make posts, right? So keep your post short, under 70 characters will get you a higher engagement rate. This one happens to be 69 characters, so you can see exactly how long. But listen, what you want to do is you always want to post with a graphic or a video. In fact, we say that you want to actually post with a video. And here's an example of one right here for an ebook promotion. Look at this. This is a video that we created with Dalai Lama, and it's his video. We just chopped it up, made it different so it complies with copyright law. You can see the Amazon links right up here, so we can send the traffic right into Amazon. 17,000 shares at this time, 975,000 views, and 26,000 likes when I took this shot right here. But if you can do a video of someone popular, you will get a lot more traffic, even if it's not related to you. And that's okay. You can have other people's videos. It's great. So let's talk about another way of getting traffic. One thing I love to do is post on other people's pages. And this is Coca-Cola, 105 million fans of Coca-Cola. That's larger than most countries around the world, right? So you're bound to have a percentage of anybody on this page that might like something that we have to say. In this case, I just say loving my ice cold cloak during my social media webinar. And then I have a link to the webinar registration. And I always use a graphic from the company so that it gets seen more often and it's appreciated and it won't be blocked. Here's United. I said, thanks, United. I'm loving my your new Polaris business class. Cheers to my best ride ever. And I included a photo that they took of their business class. They've got new seats, and it's really quite exciting in there. So this is what we do, is we post on other people's pages. And what will happen here is people will mouse over our icon, and they'll come back to our page. Here's Audi Australia, 64,000 fans. Can anyone tell me how I can get my hands on this car to get to my seminar? I want to show up in style. This particular post, this got Audi Australia admins to actually comment back, which is what we wanted. And as soon as they make a comment, we get all the traffic. So the 64,000 fans actually have a chance at seeing this post. Here's MTN Cyprus. This is like Vodafone in the UK, Telstra in Australia, AT&T or Verizon in the US. 63,000 fans, which is roughly 8% of the entire country's population. I posted from my phone. I've got my SIM. I've got data. Yes, thank you, MTN, for great 3G service. And I put in a link. I copied a link in for a Facebook event, guys. And look what comes up. It comes up with a graphic. It comes up also with the date and the time and the place of the event. And then right below it, you can see where MTN Cyprus says, Jim, thanks for choosing MTN, blah, blah, blah. And all I could say is thank you, MTN, for making a comment, because I filled with standing room only this room in Nicosia, Cyprus, and it was all because 6%